Okay.
All right. So in your notes, you want to write 3, 5, 7, 10. I want to break down what it would look like over the next 16 weeks, Kirsten. If you do 3 demos a week, 5 demos a week, 7 demos a week, and 10 demos a week, and what that would look like income, what that would get you. And I'm going to go based off numbers if you're at $0, Ryan, shirts and sales. So let's talk about 3 demos a week, which, by the way, how many of you are going to be students? Like, school starts next week. You're busy. Maybe you're worried about, like, man, do I even do this after my fast start? Like, how do I make this happen? And what does that look like? Well, I'm going to tell you, here's the advantage of doing 3 demos a week. There are 16 weeks to the end of the campaign, 16 weeks to the last week of April, basically. 3 demos a week over 16 weeks means 48 appointments. 48 demos is not 48 orders. That is incorrect. But the amount of orders that does come out to be at a $400 average order is $11,520 in sales. I know that number is correct. That number is correct. Which, by the way, if you're at $0 in income or in sales right now, that's $2,400 in income. You earn a President's Club letter, and you're at 30% commission rolling into the summer. That's doing 3 demos a week around school, Keely. How many of you feel like you could do 1 appointment on a Friday afternoon after school and 2 appointments Saturday morning and then forget about Vector for another 155 hours of your week? Keaton, even as a full-time track athlete, you could do that. So that's the advantage of, like, the consistency there. And by the way, maybe what you do is maybe you don't even look at the income. Maybe you just let that income go to an account where you just save it. Right. And then in the summertime, you just come around and you're like, oh, look, I've got $2,400 sitting there from my part-time job that I work. An idea. Here's what it looks like. You do 5 demos. Okay. 5 demos a week is actually pretty cool because you're not even doubling the amount of effort, but you double the amount of income that you make, which is cool. 5 demos a week for the next 16 weeks. That's 80 appointments. 80 appointments is 40 orders or 48 orders. That is $19,200 in sales, Connor Weller. That's $4,960 in income. Now, Connor, where you're at 30% commission already, Kirsten's, yeah, he just already did the math. He's like 5,700, and it'd actually be more than that because there's bonuses in there. You might have forgot, right? So, that's not bad. Who thinks it'd be okay to make another $5,000 in income like this next semester? Doing 5 appointments a week. No, don't get me wrong. 5 appointments a week does take discipline. Okay. Typically, it takes 2 phone jams to book up 5 appointments. So you book like 3 in one jam, 2 in another phone jam, and it's like 2 jams of 20 calls, which, I mean, you could knock out that amount of time. 5 demos probably takes you 7 or 8 hours worth of work. So for 10 hours a week, you make $4,960 in income. I don't even know what that is per hour. Let's look at that really quick. 10 hours a week, 160 hours in work. So $4,960 divided by 160 hours worth of work. You're making $31 an hour. Tell me another job as a college student. You can make $31 basically for an hour, like an hour. Dude, there's like career welders that are making $30 an hour. You know what I mean? There's like truck drivers that are making $30 an hour. And that's at $0 in sales. If you've already hit a couple pay raises, dude, you're looking at a really great place to be. And you get the President's Club letter, and you're almost at like $800 short of the 35% commission going into the summer, which means you make 30% every week, and then you get a 5% bonus at the end of every month based on that month's sales. So basically you make 30 plus 5, so you make 35% commission. Well, that's a really cool place to be in the summertime because, Ryan, you could sell 30, 40, 50 grand in the summer and walk away from the summer having made 10 to 20, $25,000 in income, which that's a really cool place to be as well. You do 7 appointments a week, which, by the way, 7 appointments a week could very easily be 2 appointments 3 times a week, 2 to 3 appointments 3 times a week. Maybe you do what I used to do, which is I used to do a couple appointments after Math 1050 on Friday morning. And then I used to do a couple appointments Saturday mornings. And then I'd take Saturday afternoons, do homework, hang out with friends. I'd sleep all day Sunday, do whatever. And then Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. was like lockdown with school. That's just what I did. And then I came to team meeting and made some phone calls. What that looks like, though, that's 112 demos. 68 orders, $27,000 in sales, and you make $7,520 in income. By the way, did you guys know that you could actually probably pay for tuition's like $3,500 for most people, $3,800. Your housing's probably a couple grand. You could pay for this next semester of school or like pay off a student loan, Kirsten, like just doing 7 demos a week. How many appointments? 7 demos a week. It's probably like 10 hours to like do the actual appointments. And then like between booking that up, it's probably like 15 to 16 hours worth of work a week. There's people that have 15 to 16 hours worth of like internships a week. You guys know that, right? That they actually, some of them don't even get paid for. They're just like coffee getters and copy makers. And you can pay for the next semester of school. You're also a scholarship contender. I'm not going to say you're going to be a scholarship winner, but I will say in the spring campaign, number 25 student sales representative in the entire nation pretty much comes in somewhere between like $19,000 to $24,000 in sales. So you are putting yourself in the money, in the numbers to win a scholarship. Now, the cool part about winning a scholarship, by the way, the cash payout's not like, it's not a full ride or anything like that. It's like $250 to $1,000, which, by the way, I'm never going to turn down my nose at $250, especially if it's helping with school. The advantage of the scholarship, though, is it gives you an excuse to go after something. It gives you something to share with your customers. And it's something you can also put on a resume. Hey, listen, when I was a full-time college student, I was a track athlete, or I was doing this, or I was doing that. I was also the number 25 representative in the entire nation in the company. And I generated almost $30,000 in sales by doing one-on-one appointments with customers and won a scholarship with our company. Right? That's something that shows that you are somebody that knows how to put in consistency and effort over time. Now, I'm going to say this, Ryan. If you're not a student, frankly, if you're doing less than 10 demos a week, I'm wondering what are you even doing? But check this out. 10 demos a week over 16 weeks is 160 demos. 160 demos is 96 orders. 96 orders is $38,400 in sales. That's $11,860 in income, Ryan. I'm pretty sure a church mission costs right around 12 grand. So if you minimum do 10 appointments a week, you're going to make at least 12 grand by the time May rolls around. Now, you have weeks in there where you do 15 or 20. Obviously, that number grows by quite a bit. If you're a student and you do 10 demos a week, which, by the way, we have people on our team like Quentin, people that I know like Hanson, or people also on our team like Noah Anderson, who really focus on, as students over the last handful of semesters, at student at BYU and Utah Valley, that we're doing 10 appointments a week with clients, and that put him in the money to be able to win scholarships. And Quentin won like 7 scholarships back to back to back. He just finished his school. He's basically graduated, and now he's gonna do $300,000 in sales this next year. So there's the scholarship, of course, the President's Club letter. And by the time you're into the summertime, you're making 45%. I'm going to tell you right now, Keaton, you make 45% in the summer, you sell 20, 30, 40, 50 grand. I mean, you're like stashing money away for a mission, you're stashing money away for school, and you can like write a check for that next semester. And all it takes is some consistency. I don't even want to do the math. I'll do the math. All right, 10 appointments a week. It's 10 appointments a week. I don't know, probably takes you, we'll call it like 15 hours worth of work if you're taking an hour and a half on all your appointments. Another 5 hours maybe for team meeting book. That's 20 hours worth of work. All right, so 16 weeks times by 20 hours, it's 320 hours. So if we take $11,860 divided by 320 hours, you're making $37 an hour. Shut the front door. I don't know another job where they're going to pay you $37 an hour as a college student. Now, is this job harder than working at like the HPC and doing homework while like you're sitting there and getting paid $11 an hour? Yes, it is. It is harder than that. Like there's no denying that. But also, Connor, the growth that you get from being in a place like this and having that kind of leverage over your income, what I love about Vector is it really destroyed my perspective of money in a positive way. I was like, yeah, what I used to think was a lot of money is like, meh. Right. And then there's other jobs that I've looked at and I'm like, nah, it's just that just doesn't work for me, because Vector gives you when you work Vector the right way, it gives you the tastes to make great income. And you go back and you look at like effort to other jobs, effort to income ratio. It's like, I can put in a lot of hard work here and have a lot of control over that. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is just a perspective that I wanted to share with you. I think that's valuable, especially as we roll into the semester and school starts next week. And by the way, you know what? Maybe you end up doing 3 to 5 demos a week. Right? Well, you're going to land somewhere between here and there. You do 5 to 7 demos a week and you have a standard of at least 5, but an objective to get 7 to 10. Certain weeks you're going to have more or less. You're going to earn, you know, somewhere between here and there. And then some people it's 7 to 10 demos a week, which again is absolutely doable. All right.